All right, everyone. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of a couple of sub $20 budget Amazon knives. Both knives are made by SRM or Sanrenmu, I believe is how you say it. The first one is the model number 7063, and this is on Amazon for $19.90. And the second one is the same company, Sanrenmu, and it is 7056. This one is a access lock, and this one is a liner lock with a flipper tab. So let's unbox them, check them out, and see what you get. Oh yeah, this one's only $17.80. This one $19.90. So very budget-friendly knives. And I've seen some review of their larger knives, and people say they're pretty good. So figured I'd check out a couple of their smaller offerings. All right, we'll start with the access lock. Very basic packaging, but what do you expect for less than $20, right? And this has aluminum scales. I like the look of this knife, which is why I ordered it. Hopefully their access lock is pretty good. And let's give you some specs on this guy real quick. All right, this one, it is ACR 13 MOV steel on the blade. The handle is aluminum oxide that's been oxidized to blue. The entire length is 158 millimeters. Blade length is 65 millimeters. And let's see what that equates to in inches. Pull up the old Google here. So the blade length at 65 millimeters translates to American as 2.55 inches. You know, we like to use freedom units here. All right, and overall length for that guy will be 158 millimeters. 6.22 inches total length. Got a deep carry pocket clip. It does sit down a little low because of the lanyard hole there, which I'm not the biggest fan of lanyards, but I can see why people like them. Helps you pull your knife out of your pocket a little better. Let's check that lock. Ooh, she's a little stiff. I didn't have high expectations for $20, but could just be new too, and may need some lube. Let's check this. See here. Let's just, instead of taking it apart right now, let's just try to get a little KPL down in there. See if that helps. Just a little bit. I think I'm gonna loosen that pivot up just a hair too. Yeah, let's loosen that up. Probably a T6. 7. Let's back that pivot up just a touch. No, it's actually a T8 maybe? Nope. T7. Maybe that is not a Torx. It is not a Torx. Is it? Need my glasses. My glasses are in the car. Oh, I see what the problem is. I got my bits out of order. There's a T8. T8 was in the T9 spot. There we go. Thing's really loose already. Very, very loose. Any Loctite in there. All right, let's tighten it down all the way. Blade is centered at the moment. All right, that's just got a little bit of tension on it. Try to get some more KPL down in there. It's such tight tolerances. I really don't want to take it apart, because if it's complete junk, it's going back to Amazon. Just try to work this here and see if we can get some of that old lube down to the pivot. The cool thing about this knife too is it has a built-in bottle opener, so you can use that for a bottle opener there. All right, it's starting to get a little smoother now. Can you reverse flick? Man, I don't know if I can. That pocket clip blocks my middle finger. Yeah, you can get it. I've still got that pivot all the way down. Let's turn that back just a little bit. There we go. Now I will probably take that pivot screw out and put some Loctite on it, some blue Loctite, once I got it right where I want it, and put it back in. All right. Yeah, she's smoothed up quite a bit now. Hear that sound? Listen to this. Soup. The pocket clip gets in the way of trying to reverse flick it. You gotta flick that and your finger catches the tip of the clip. Speaking of that clip, the clip is recessed, but the screws are not recessed. So let's see how it goes in and out of the pocket. And I would think this would be more of a 5th pocket knife. Oh, got a G10 backspacer in there also. Goes in and out of the main pocket well. Let's try the 5th pocket. Oh yeah, great fit for the fifth pocket. All right, let's see how sharp it is. Very sharp. All right, nice and sharp from the factory. All right, so this is just an overview, unboxing overview. And actually, I think this one is worth hanging on to and seeing how it works out. Let's get some of that KPL off there. Axis lock is very smooth. I mean, it's not, the springs don't feel very strong. It's good that it's easy to pull it back, but I don't know what that would mean long term for the springs that are in here. Some axis locks you get them, they're pretty stiff and hard to pull back, but this one, fairly simple. Got a tiny little bit of blade play there, probably from where I loosened the pivot. Let's turn it a hair. Oh, it's gone now. No more blade play. No up and down at all. No side to side at all now. I love the sound it makes. I wear a medium-sized glove, and for a small knife, I can still get all 4 fingers on it. Clip is not bothering me at all. I feel it, but it's not uncomfortable. The scales right here, the milling they've done on these scales actually gives it Gives it a little grip. Jimping up here. Sharpening choil. So not a bad little knife so far for $20. All right, let's move on to the model number 7056, and this one on Amazon is $17.80. And I like the gold accents on this one. Nothing else in the box. Very basic, a little more packaging than the other one, but this one's quite a bit beefier filling. This is steel. This one has steel frame lock. I like the gold thumb studs there. Pocket clip is only one place it can go. Tip down. No other place for it. Oh, this one's a little stiff too. Yeah, that I can't get it to flip. It won't flip. Crazy thing is, it works great with the thumb studs. Yeah, it's a little stiff for sure. Got a lock bar stop there. All right, let's get some measurement. Here's the other one, just to compare. So this one is a little bit bigger. It definitely weighs quite a bit more. It weighs twice what this little guy here weighs. All right, this one here, the 7056, same still, HCR 14 MOV. It says it's got 57 to 58 on the hardness. Open length is 6.6 inches on this one. Blade length is 2.8 inches. The weight is 3.9 ounces on that little guy, which is pretty beefy for such a small knife. And the weight on this one was 76 grams, so we're gonna have to go get some American numbers there. Grams to pounds, Google. All right, so I don't know, ounces, not pounds. Let's go to ounces. All right, so the blue one, since I left that out, the weight, 2.6 ounces. And the silver one here is 3.9 ounces, so. All right. These budget knives, some of them are good, some of them aren't. Some of them just, you know, they've been sitting in a warehouse for who knows how long. And whatever lubricant there was in there, if there's any, and this is on washers, by the way. Both these are on washers. Whatever lubricant is in there is probably stiffened up. So let's back this back just a hair. See if we can get it to free up a little bit for that flipper tab. The lockup is really good. It's like a 50% lockup there. The lock bar is easy to get to. They've notched out this scale so you can get in there easy, and there's some jimping, and it's not terribly uncomfortable on the thumb. If I help it and give it a little whip, I can get the flipper to come out. Come out the flipper. It still feels really stiff in there. This one I may have to take apart. Let's put some KPL on that detent ball. I may have to do this off camera. So I can see it properly. There it is. All right. Actually, let's put this one, the heavy, on the detent ball. Let's go ahead and try to get, without taking it apart, try to get some towards the pivot here, just a tad, and work it down. That was more than I wanted, but see if we can loosen her up a little bit. Lube her up and loosen her up. Sounds like some fun, huh? Sounds like a lot of fun. All right. Yeah, it's loosening up. Yeah, I bet if I take this knife apart, clean it, and re-lubricate it, it will be butter smooth. Because I've barely backed up this pivot. Centering is way off on this knife. Look how far off that is. See if I can get the right angle for you there. Let's tighten this back up, see if it pulls it back to the center. Yep, that's centered. But that is super stiff. The thumb studs work perfectly. They work great. The flipper tab, I don't know if it's the angle that they've made the knife or how they've made the tab and the design of it, but it just does not want, you can't get enough pull on it to get it to, if I help it, it'll go. But I mean, it just fails every time. Whether you light switch it or push button it, it just fails every time. Let's see down in there. All right. Well, I don't have high hopes for that one. That is the 7056. However, this little guy here, 7063, it is very smooth, very lightweight, feels great in hand. That action is fantastic for a $20 knife. I mean, if you want something lightweight, something very lightweight, good action, small, something you may want to look at. But I am going to use this knife, and I will review it down the road. This one here, I don't know. I don't know if I'm even going to attempt it. I think I may just send it back to Amazon because I still haven't got it tight enough to get the blade centered all the way. It's closer to centered, and it is, the flipper tab's useless. It is useless unless you seriously help it. Now I guess it could break in, but you know, normally a flipper knife, you buy a flipper knife, you don't have to break the flipper in, you know. It'll work from when you get it. It'll just get smoother over time and flow more freely. But right now, this thing, and I'm keeping my fingers off the lock bar, so it's not the lock bar. I'm keeping my fingers right here on the pocket clip. I got it that time, but all right, guys, those are two SRM Sanrenmu knives from Amazon. I will post the links to both of them. I'm not recommending either one right now, but if you want to take a look, go ahead. I don't make any money off of it. I don't have an affiliate link or anything like that. But my first impressions of this guy, very good. I like it. 20 bucks, can't beat it so far. We'll see how it holds up after some use. First impression of this guy, steer clear. It's a heavy, rough, not centered. This one, on the other hand, perfectly centered, and it's very tight tolerances in there. You know, there's not a whole lot of room for the blade to move. This little guy here is, listen to that sound. Just whipping through the air. Try to get it. One thing I don't like about it, I can't get my, it's hard to reverse flick because of the pocket clip location. But if it wasn't for that pocket clip, it would easily reverse flick. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment if you got any questions. And I've got some other videos coming up, so subscribe. And see you on the next one.